Thanks for staying with us. So today's topic is about an anti-graft officer who was fatally shot and another critically injured when suspected internet fraudsters, widely known as Yahoo boys, opened fire on operatives in Anambra last week. The officers, who had traveled from the zonal headquarters in Enugu, were on a mission to apprehend the suspects when the incident occurred. The development has sparked quite a bit of concern amongst EFCC operatives, with some lamenting the lack of adequate personnel, insurance, while other Nigerians were saying that it was this self-defense from these internet fraudsters, because EFCC, according to some of you, already have a history of barging into houses unannounced. What are your thoughts on this? Because this has really sparked quite a bit of debate on social media. Some were supporting EFCC, others were supporting the criminals, saying that they have a right to defend themselves, especially when you come in unannounced. What are your thoughts on this? And the reason why it's so important to have this conversation, because we're trying to fix our country, and we're trying to build a nation that is more respectful of law and order. However, in the same vein, how do we protect the citizens and their own privacy? You can call us on 081-0764-1679, 090-241-63440. You can also send us your messages on X and also on YouTube. We'll be happy to read your thoughts. So everybody is on different sides on this story, because for different reasons. And as somebody who believes in the rule of law, it's always important for us to do things the right way. But what are your initial thoughts? Because social media is saying one thing. We've seen an official response from EFCC coming out to say this man was a criminal, was being investigated for internet fraud, and the gallant officers had gone there to apprehend him. And it was quite unfortunate that this man, who is a Nigerian, was shot dead in cold blood. And here Nigerians celebrating the death of a gallant officer, and it was quite difficult for the EFCC to understand that. What are your thoughts based on the comments coming on social media?
When I read the comments, I realized that we have a huge gap. As much as we think on this show that we have spent over 11 years educating Nigerians, and there are many other TV shows, radio shows that have educated Nigerians, we forget that the Hollywood industry has over-informed Nigerians. When you read the comments reflect a knowledge of the American laws more than the knowledge of the Nigerian laws. You do not have a right to use a gun to defend yourself in the Nigerian system. In the US, if you come into my house, I can shoot you.
Depends on the state.
In many states. But we've seen a lot of it in movies. So somebody in Nigeria now says, he has a gun, he has a right to shoot. No, you don't. And because we do not have the knowledge of our own laws and its impacts on our own land, and what we watch more often for entertainment and information is based on the law of another country who's taken time to integrate entertainment as a way to inform the people about the law, we have a set of people that do not understand the law and have the confidence to flaunt their ignorance in a comment on social media to say that he has a right to shoot to defend himself. So that, for me, is the first issue. Can we get our people more informed? Civic education, our children are getting to know a whole lot more about the laws of the land, but not enough in a way to know how its implication can happen. Also, there are multiple crimes that are taking place here. One is the fact that we've always complained about shoot to disarm as different from shoot to kill, and they're two different things. If a country permits you to have a gun, there are rules on how to train to use it. We do not have that structure yet in Nigeria. What we have in Nigeria is proliferation of unlicensed ammunition in the hands of suspected criminals. If this man, the person that shot the EFCC official, does not have license to own that gun, there is already a crime being committed. The second is when we approach, which is where the information comes in. When a policeman approaches you or somebody barges into your house, what is the right response to do? When we watch Oyinbo movies, we have a different template of what we should do. But in Nigeria, we do not have a right template educating us on what we should do.
So let me just take it from where you stopped. When somebody barges into your house in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., what's the first thing that comes into your head? You're not rationally thinking. You were woken up from sleep, from fear, and you would react. Now, when you are reacting and you're looking at the person who has barged into you, you're not seeing any form of uniform to say that these people are likely from so and so place. What do you think will happen? You assume that they are thieves. That's what happens. So I will start by saying that I know that criminals are criminals, but we always say let the courts judge the case. You are innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. And so in our modus operandi as EFCC or ICPC or every other, the police and all of that, we must not erode the human rights of any individual. We've had issues where everybody complained. There was a time a producer was in a hotel shooting a movie, and then EFCC barged into that hotel, barged into her naked. I don't want to mention her name, she's a popular producer. Barged into her naked. And she was wondering, what is going on? Why? So if I was here with somebody else, for instance, this is how you people would have barged into me and disgraced me like that for a crime that did not concern me. And like you said, we are really informed with the movies that we watch. We understand that when it comes to investigations like this, before you carry out a raid, there would have been series of invitations. You would have been monitoring this person. You would have been following up on this person. You would have been investigating this person long time before you get a warrant. Hold on now. Before you get a warrant to barge in. And when you are barging in, are you not supposed to show that this is what we are representing? How do you expect somebody to wake up from sleep and just realize that all of a sudden you are EFCC? Nobody will do that. You are waking up in shock, because the truth is we have seen even where armed robbers use uniforms to rob. We have seen where they use, either is the police uniform, they use soldier uniform to rob. And most times when people enter your house at that time of the night, the first thing you're thinking is this person is a criminal that has come to do me harm. So how we carry out our investigation matters a lot, and I think the Nigerian system needs to look into it and clean it up so that we don't have officers who are supposed to be enforcing the laws losing their lives because they did not just clean up their modus operandi.
Okay, so yeah, so I agree with your thought process. I also agree with your thought process in the sense that intent, like when the police barged in, the intent of whether the man was trying to defend himself, self-defense, or whether he already knew they were coming and was ready to shoot. So intent matters here at the end of the day. But regardless of anything, as a nation, we stick strictly to the adherence of law and the law that guides us as a people. And under Section 7, subsection 1E of the EFCC Amendment Act 2004, it gives the EFCC the right to search, to come into any premises where they feel like that a criminal activity is being carried out or is going on, to search the premises and to arrest. And also, they don't also have to inform, because even when I read most of the comments, people were saying that the police division in that area were saying that EFCC did not even carry them along. They did not inform them of the operation. But within the EFCC Amendment Act, they don't have to inform the police.
They need to know
They don't need to, yes, they don't need to. As far as they're carrying out an investigation, they don't have to inform the police that they want to carry out an operation in their area. They only do that when they want collaboration or they need help, or extra officers to help them.
And there's something called covert operations.
It's covert.
You don't have, because I mean, we see even the same movies we're watching. We see them going in. Nobody is aware, and you come in. But where I also understand where BC is coming from, which is also important. It's important that EFC also gets feedback. Before you send your operatives into any kind of covert operation where there can be resistance, they need to be properly equipped. Those movies you are watching, those guys don't go into Gaza. They don't go into all those places just without
bulletproof.
They
didn't have a bulletproof
They need to have all the right equipment,
Exactly.
various body equipment to support them, because you can be met with any kind of resistance. You're going into somebody's house, maybe at night. You don't know what's going to happen. So you don't go there saying, trying to come in. Somebody can hit you or kill you.
If you already suspect he's a criminal,
yes, if
you
you
should be extra careful.
Absolutely. If you suspect that somebody is a criminal, your people should be properly equipped. They should be insured, properly trained to know how to handle these things. When you're having all these stakeouts, people should be there to support and protect them. So there's a sniper. I'm not watching a movie. There's a sniper from 3 houses, knowing that my people are entering this house. So
there's a
just
van
in case there's firing.
waiting.
Yes.
We, as I said, Hollywood has educated us.
How it's supposed to be.
And I've always said this narrative for many years too, that Hollywood must begin to educate Nigerians, because as simple as it is, they have the most powerful approach to actually get Nigerians to understand, because these are people are seeing things and they must buy into this new Nigeria we're trying to build it. And how do we buy into it? We see that we must respect the law enforcement. We must see that they're coming to their job. We must not automatically assume they're coming here, they're breaking the law. No, sometimes they're actually coming to their job.
The comments don't reflect. Like I said, me and my own is, what we are discussing is based on the information we have. The more information we have, the more we realize, oh, this is where the blame should be in. And as usual, we're not here on the show to just trade blame. It's to x-ray the situation and educate ourselves so that these kind of things don't happen again. On a normal day, covert operations, they cannot inform you. They cannot flash ID card because they need to catch you in the very act. We need to catch the laptop. We need to be sure before, because in 2 seconds you can delete. And there are compromised within some, the force, there are people that are compromised, so they would not want to inform other people because they might be under your payroll and they might let you know what is going on. So even if within the gap of all of that happening, that this is a covert operation, the onus is on EFCC to protect its operatives. Operatives that you know that you're putting their lives at risk. It is extremely wrong and evil for anybody to gloat and be celebrating the death of the gallant EFCC officials who sacrificed their lives. And I know one or two, several comments are like, hey, them too, when did they go house for night? Like, I'm wondering, have we become so inhuman that somebody would die, a person's father, somebody that is doing his work, a citizen like you, would die in the line of duty and you would be trivializing it because he came in the middle of the night? No, we must not lose our humanity.
Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we continue the conversation and open our phone line. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be